Mepham, welcome to this week's Midweek Update.
Hey Mepham, welcome back to Midweek Update. I know I'm so happy to be back on this show.
Me too. We both got to be on the announcements last week, which we should definitely check out if you haven't already.
In the meantime, let's take a look at a new coach on the field, Inktober, and an all-new teacher feature.
This and more as we take a look at what's going on in this week's Midweek Update. I'm Gizzeth and
And I'm Brianna Bolin, and welcome back to Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places in and around the Mepham community.
Hey Bri, do you know what season it is?
It's spooky season, of course.
Time for some fun fall snacks and drinks.
You know where you can get some amazing fall treats?
Buzzed. So make sure you go today and support B&B Going to California for the Student Television Network convention.
You will definitely see me with an apple or pumpkin dessert.
As amazing as that sounds, that's not the direction I was exactly going in. It's Inktober season.
That sounds very interesting, but I don't really know much about it.
B&B's Hannah Broxmeyer got to find out more about this Mepham tradition.
When you think of autumn, what comes to mind? Perhaps you think of Halloween or even the start of school, but here at Mepham, we think of ink, or Inktober to be exact.
Inktober is a drawing challenge in which every day of the month of October you are challenged to create a piece of artwork in ink.
Regardless of your skill level, you can participate in this month-long event. All you need is drawing utensils, a piece of paper, and the daily prompt.
In Inktober, as a student, I'm making the different prompts that are given. So if the prompt is tear, I have to draw something relevant to a tear, but only with ink.
The point isn't to create a masterpiece. It's to spark your creativity and inner artist. The prompt is merely a jumping off point, while the rest of the artwork is up to you and your unique interpretation.
Just a really great way to prompt your creativity, to start, giving you something to respond to. The prompt really just helps get people's creative juices flowing and to have a chance to make some art.
People should participate in Inktober because it's a great way to get your creativity up, because you may be used to drawing whatever you would normally draw, but Inktober forces you to draw based on the prompt, which will help you improve your skills.
Whether or not you're an art student is irrelevant. Anyone who wants to participate can do so. The purpose of this event is to foster creativity, and you don't need to be in art class in order to accomplish that. All you need is the passion and drive to illustrate these prompts in a manner that suits you best.
We want the community to be interactive, and it's a good way to interact with the spooky season in October.
It is a great chance to see everyone's different ideas and to see their different styles of artwork in a fun way that really just gets a chance to show their creativity.
And just get a pen, get a piece of paper, and start drawing.
For B&B, I'm Hannah Broxmeyer.
Hannah, I love seeing everyone's artwork, and it's never too late to start participating. The prompts are on the Mepham Art Instagram.
Another way to get involved in the Mepham community is by participating in extracurriculars.
One big one around here is our Mepham sports teams. B&B's Makayla Daube has your midweek in Mepham sports.
Thanks, Bri. I'm Makayla Daube with your Midweek Sports Report. What a busy weekend our Mepham athletes had. On Friday, the girls' tennis team traveled to Hewlett. The BMCH SD Sharks won their meet against Long Beach, and the boys' badminton team played crosstown rival JFK. Moving on to Saturday, the girls' volleyball team played Garden City and were led by Sam Rakos and Emily O'Sullivan, who combined for 33 kills. The football team also faced off against Garden City, but despite 2 touchdowns by Dom Novello and 1 by Chris Norris, they fell short. In soccer, Mepham beat Freeport 3-1, with defender J.D. DeCina scoring a goal. Today, cross country has a meet, and the boys' soccer team will face off against North Shore at 5. Last but not least, I cannot end without wishing luck to Mepham's very own tennis phenom, sophomore Alexandra Rakos, who will be representing Mepham in the county championships this Saturday. Since 7th grade, over the past 4 years, Alex has played first singles for the Pirates and has never lost a league game. Good luck to Alex and all of the Pirates teams on the rest of their seasons as they head towards playoffs. That's all for me. I'm Makayla Daube, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Makayla. This year, many people have taken on new roles in the athletic department.
One new addition to our football team is our student coach, Sarah Koenig.
I'm so happy that a student here gets the opportunity to help coach our amazing football team.
And that a girl got to take on this coaching role after some of the boys coached our flag football team last year.
B&B's Haley Hepworth got to hear how and why Sarah got this role.
Typically, the high school football teams in Bellmore-Merrick are coached by men, but this year the team is a new addition to the coaching staff, Sarah Koenig, the first assistant girl coach of the Mepham High School football team.
Moody contacted me over the summer asking if I was still interested, and I said yes.
But everyone is wondering, what does Sarah really do as a student coaching other students?
I'm coaching special teams with Coach McHugh, and I'm learning a lot from that, and I'm enjoying it.
Having a girl on the team, or even coaching the team, may not be normal, but the team makes sure they are welcoming her and treats her the same as all the other coaches.
Having a girl as a coach is like having anyone else as a coach. She speaks to us like she's an adult, and she isn't afraid to have that authority and help run the team. So she's really great in that aspect.
But Koenig does not think of this role as just a thing in high school. She is trying to set herself up for her future. She doesn't want to just stop here. She wants to reach the big leagues.
I plan on majoring in sports management, and my first kind of career goal is to be a coach, and if that doesn't happen, I kind of have a fallback option, which is to be a referee for the NFL.
Sarah has impacted the team this year in many different ways.
She's just brings an energy to practice that can't be matched, primarily because she's peers with all of these, all the players. She calls some stuff during the games on special teams. She has a little bit of advice here and there at the end of practice to help motivate the kids, but overall she just brings a breath of freshness to the profession, and that eye to the future of what we're building the program to kind of always be.
Yeah, I stepped up into a very particular role with special teams and Coach McHugh, so she's taking on a big role with that. But she keeps us riled, she keeps us hyped on the sideline, so we get a good laugh out of it sometimes.
While yes, she is a coach, she has formed a bond with the team and became a close friend to many.
I really feel like it is easier to learn for someone your own age because you relate to them, and I can mess around with her. But if I go up to Moody and I say all this kind of stuff, it's not gonna slide.
Coaching takes a lot of responsibility and patience, and Sarah has it all. And for B&B, I'm Haley Hepworth.
Thanks, Haley, for giving us an inside look at what Sarah takes on during practices and games.
Sarah is doing an amazing job this year, but she wouldn't have been able to do it without the new head coach.
Here's B&B's Peter Horocek to introduce your next segment.
Thanks, Gizzeth. This week we have our first teacher feature of the year. As a quick reminder, teacher feature is where you get to see a bit more about some of your favorite teachers and what makes them so beloved. Continuing on our football path, we are starting off the new head coach and social studies teacher, Mr. Moody.
Teachers have their own unique ways of getting students involved in classes or in extracurricular activities.
I just like getting the students up and around the classroom, sometimes doing gallery walks or working with partners, working in small groups, and kind of just changing the environment on them.
Mr. Moody, a social studies teacher who is very passionate about his work.
I feel like me and him share a lot of the same kind of passion, right? We're always here for students.
How passionate he is. He's really dedicated to students doing well and students having fun while they're in school.
While also teaching, Mr. Moody started to make the balance of coaching the football team.
I think Mr. Moody is really, it's clear from, the way he is with the players and, his attention to detail. And I think that he's really, a guy you can tell he cares a tremendous amount about the program.
He's a really fun guy, and he just makes coming out to practice every day tons of fun. And most of our teammates would probably agree that Moody's done a great job so far.
Getting to see, the kids every day and seeing the kids grow up, having them as freshmen and again as juniors or seniors, and kind of seeing, them develop and become more of a unique individual.
Mr. Moody is also making impacts on teachers and students around the Mepham community.
This is the first year we're actually teaching the same content. He just joined the A-Push team. Myself and Mr. Zalby are super excited of working alongside of him. I'm already starting to collaborate with him, and I can't wait for the rest of the year.
He is an amazing teacher and brings that energy to the classroom, and he also brings that same energy out to the field.
I think been able to learn, from him. He's a guy that had a lot of experience as a player. Coached in college, coached at a couple different high schools, places before he came here. So it definitely, like I said, he's a person who works very, really hard at his craft, and definitely learned a lot from, speaking with him.
Mr. Moody has formed so many relationships around the Mepham community.
My favorite thing about Mr. Moody, I would say, is his actual character. I feel like there's a lot about Mr. Moody that I can relate to. I love the fact that he has a moral compass. He has a level of integrity. I love the fact that what he tries to instill in his students as well as his young athletes on his team is something that all teachers and coaches should really aspire to be.
For B&B, this is your teacher feature.
Wow, who knew a teacher could do so much around our building while also trying to coach a team to victory? Now back to you guys in the studio.
I know you all want to know just as much as I do, but we will all have to wait to see which teacher gets to be featured next.
I hope some of my favorites could be highlighted.
While we are talking about football, there's a pretty big game coming up this weekend.
Pretty big? It's our biggest game of the year.
Homecoming! Saturday is sure to be filled with a ton of fun, spirit, and hopefully a win.
At that game, the homecoming king and queen will be announced, but you might not know who the nominees are yet.
Yesterday morning, we broke into your classrooms to tell you this breaking news.
I can't wait to see who the king and queen are. If you aren't able to make it to the game, make sure to check it out only on the B&B YouTube channel.
Another thing that happened yesterday was that all live and environment classes were given the opportunity to observe these animals during the in-school field trip, and they also got to learn about their adaptations and natural habitats.
B&B's Sammi Rooney is in the gym with more.
Thanks guys, I'm in the Mepham North Gym where animals have arrived. This is an annual event where animals are brought in for kids to interact with and learn more about.
I bring them into schools to educate people about them. We're a wildlife rehabilitation center, and we also take care of other animals. So that way people can learn about them, understand them, and, have a passion for saving them in the wild.
Yeah. Animals are adorable as ever, and I'm so glad they get to come year after year. For B&B, I'm Sammi Rooney. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Sammi. I wish I got to see all the animals, but I guess there's always next year. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Midweek Update. We'll be back next week with all new stories from around the BMCHSD to bring you inside the parts of the community we don't always get to see.
Until then, I'm Gizzeth and Bri.
And I'm Brianna Bullen, and we'll see you all next midweek.
Good show.